was broke last week, but all right. Today be a new day. Motherfuckers like cavities. Damn, was a nigga be too straight. Walking by that bitch by the new way. All right. Feeling like Luke Kang. What y'all? I just say that just forget to what y'all because this episode we're doing right here is another episode of Mount Rushmore, where I give you my top four and a couple honorable mentions sometimes if I feel like doing that. This is the host, the bad guy himself, Kenny. We're gonna get into it. All right. And I like I said, I still don't have a theme song, so that's why you're getting them random songs in the beginning. But one of these days I'm gonna get one. Now, what we're doing this episode, we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna challenge myself for this one. And I try to go into 10 minutes too as well. That's the thing about this too as well. So for this one, I'm giving you top martial arts movies, but with a twist. I can't use the same actor more than once. I'm trying to because if we're doing that, Jackie Chan be all through this. I love Jackie Chan to death. That's my favorite. That's my favorite guy. But what I'm gonna do is give you their best movie. I'm gonna try to me the best movie to me because there might be a movie I tell or I tell y'all and y'all gonna be like, ain't no way that's a bad movie. And it's like it is to me. I mess with it. That's good thing about opinion list. Like it's my opinion. All right. So I'm gonna start y'all off with the honorable mentions for the top martial arts movies. And the first one, I'm not really a fan of Jet Li. You can crucify me already. The one is my favorite Jet Li movie. In my opinion, this is the best multiverse kind of movie. This is the first time I've ever seen a multiverse kind of movie. And I remember seeing this and being like, oh, this is different. And with this multiverse movie, if you don't know, Jet Li is someone that he's got a villain version of him and a hero version of him. But the villain version is going to every universe and killing the other versions of him because every time he kills them, he gets stronger, he gets faster, he gets smarter. Like everything about him just increases. Like he increases his attributes. He's like, ah. So he just starts off just killing people. And he's got one left. I think he's got one left. And I want to say it's one left. And it's the cop. I can't remember if there's two left or there's just the one. But the one left is a good guy, he's a cop, and they're trying to duke it out. And that's the thing. One's trying to kill him and he's trying to, save himself. But movie, I loved it. I love that movie. Jason Statham's in there too, by the way. He had hair. That's how long ago this movie was. He had hair in that movie. um, the next one is Raid 2, and I cannot pronounce that man's name. Y'all can get on me all you want. But I got Raid 2. I saw that movie for the first time a couple years back, and I said, "Oh," because you like people be like, "Oh, it's the best martial arts movie of all time," and people be like, "Oh, this movie." Like a lot of people said Raid 2, and someone who loves martial arts movies, I never seen the Raid movies. I was like, "Let me go ahead and check this out," and I was like, "Oh, yeah." I understand now. I understand now. Raid 2 was fire. Raid 1 was cool, but Raid 2 was different. That movie was different. So I'm definitely going that in the honorable mentions. I gotta give his credit. The next one is Ip Man. I think I'm saying it correctly. Ip Man or Ip Man. I remember this another one. Everybody was talking about like, bro, you gotta see this movie. We gotta see this movie. So I was like, okay. I think at the time there were only two Ip Mans out. So I had watched. So I was like, okay, bet. And I watched the first two, and then they made like a third one. The third one was kind of weak to me, but I think they're on. I think they got like five Ip Mans now. I think three was what I got. I think I watched the first three. I don't think I ever got to Ip Man 4, if that's what's out now. I don't know how many Ip Mans are out, but seeing him just moving his fists so fast, Donnie Yen, by the way. Donnie Yen, incredible martial artist. Everything I love. First time I seen him was Blade 2. And I was like, oh, okay, he's different. I said, okay, he's different. I like him. But yeah, I'm gonna give him his credit. Ip Man. I get Ip Man 1 and 2 confused because I watched them both back to back. So I'm just gonna say Ip Man. I think that's the one I really, really enjoyed. Whichever one he was fighting, and he was beating that nigga's head in like, blah, 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 and he was just just going to work on this dude's head, and they slow mo. He's like, his head's bouncing on the floor. I think it's the first one. Correct me if I'm wrong. If it's the second one, I know for a fact this is the first and second one. It's not the third one. It's the first and second one, but I think it's the first one. The next one And or last one, actually, not the next one, but just the last one. In my honorable mention list, I am going with this might be a sleeper to some of y'all. This might be a why is this in here? But The Last Dragon. Mac. This is one of those movies where, in my opinion, this is one of the movies. It's such a it's a fun movie. It's like has that Jackie Chan always got fun movies and he's got good martial arts in it. I love movies like that. I do. Even though the movie I got from Jackie Chan is in here, is not considered. It's fun, but it's not. I'm gonna say that it's fun, but it's not. The Last Dragon is such a fun movie. We get the glow. Like first time we seen someone go Kaioken and Super Saiyan was in this movie, and I enjoyed it for what it was. They had a very corny plot, like all martial arts movies do, but this one was just different, man. This one was different, and like I said, especially for something to be in the '80s, because I think with '70s martial arts movies, there are a couple of '70s martial movies you definitely got to check out, and I can give y'all a list of movies y'all can go check out that were fire. But this is one from the '80s, and I can't think of any '80s horror movies that like American horror movies that I can think of that were like, oh yeah, that was the one. But definitely, I did enjoy The Last Dragon. I watch it all the time. Now let's get into my final four. The Mount Rushmore. I will say this is the only one where I actually have a number one out of these, and I'll get my number one last. That's the best martial movie of all time to me. I put that. We're gonna come back to that. First one in this list is Enter the Dragon. Now, this was a fight between Enter the Dragon and Fist of Fury. I think I've watched every Bruce Lee movie but one. I watched all the main ones, the Enter the Dragons, the Fist of Fury, the Chinese Connections. I watched all that. But with the reason why I'm edging Enter the Dragon over Fist of Fury. Fist of Fury was a great movie. A lot of people talk about Game of Death. That's another good one too. Even though he wasn't even in half that movie. But but Enter the Dragon gave me a scene where I legit very few movies get me emotional, get me to the point where like I'm just angry. And when I saw Jim Kelly get beat down like that, bro, when he switched his hand, because the guy has a fake hand, he switched his like this black ass hand. He was just chopping down. He was killing this man, and these women were high. I don't know what drug they was on. I don't know what drug makes you just be cracking up laughing while somebody's being murdered in front of you. Like I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't care how high you are, unless you're just like when it was higher, you just like, you just kind of like, ugh. But high to where you're like, it's like that giggly high. You're watching this man get murdered. You would be like, oh my god, and he was just brutally chopping this man's head, and I was just like, oh, and something about that was just so like so eerie to me. Just him killing. It was already a very like awful death to just be literally bludgeoned to death with this hand. Then you add these females who just cracking up laughing in the background. I'm like, bro, what? Like, why is this funny to you? Like, what? And that really messed me up. And I was legit angry watching that. So I was like, I can't wait for this nigga to die. I can't wait. It's very rare, like I said, that I get to that point. I said that's one of the scenes, and the scene Sonny from The Godfather, like are the two angriest ever been in a movie. The two angriest I was like, ooh, I was like, please, kill him. Where I really wanted the villain, I was like, kill him. I was angry. The next one in my honor, I keep saying honorable mentions. The next one in my Mount Rushmore is Undisputed 2. Undisputed 2. This is one of those ones where I had seen Undisputed 1, and I was like, Undisputed 1, it was cool. It was cool. It was a cool little movie. But then the second one was like, oh, this is different. And this is Michael Jai White and Scott Adkins for this one. Now, Scott Adkins, I had never heard of before this movie. I knew Michael Jai White because I was a fan of him, and this is one of those movies where you can you can judge me, but I was a big fan of Universal Soldier movies. I hate Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I was a big fan of the Universal Soldier movies, especially the first and second one. I love the first and second one. Second one, now I'll be like, this movie is shitty, but I but I was a big fan of it growing up. I loved Goldberg, and I like martial arts. Michael Jai White was one of the coldest to ever do it to me. And like I said, seeing him and seeing Michael Jai White, because Michael Jai White was in um Universal Soldier 2, and he did this kick. He jumped in the air, and this is how his leg went. Like he jumped in the air, wah, wah, ding, and he hit him with the third. The third, it's like seeing Michael Jordan when he like double, triple clutched it in the air, doing all that. He did that with his foot. He was like, wah, 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 pow, and he kicked him. I was like, was that three? Was that like that was three of them, and that was insane to me. And I said, this is crazy. What? It was insane. So seeing him be a star, I think it's the first movie I've ever seen him be a star in, like not counting Spawn. It's the first movie I've seen him be a star in, and I was, yeah, I'm thinking the Universal Soldier for a second. Yeah, so because he was the villain in that one. This one, he's the star, the main character, and I was like, oh. And then we know we got Blood and Bone later. I think did we get Blood and Bone after Undisputed 2? I think so. I think Blood and Bone came after. 'Cause I remember them both coming out, and I was a big fan of both. But I think we saw more with Undisputed 2 than we saw Blood and Bone. Blood and Bone, he was really not doing as much as he was in Undisputed 2. Because he was getting some crazy fights in. They had drugged him. He was doing his thing. And then we saw Boyka for the first time. Boyka was doing corkscrews in the air and would kick you at the fight, like just before you hit the ground. He's like, boop, kick you right in your chin. You're like, oh, shit. Like you don't know when that kick was coming. Crazy. All that was like, I was just like, this is amazing. And like I said, the Undisputed 1, 2, and 3, all phenomenal. Well, not 3. It wasn't really phenomenal. The fight scene was phenomenal. But you know what I'm saying? We enjoyed it for what it was. Now, these final two on my list are fighting for the number one spot. They are fighting. When I say they're fighting for the one spot. Now, for this next one, this could have went. It was already a toss up because it was already between Ong Bak and the Protector for this, and I am edging it to the Protector. Now, Ong Bak was the first one I seen. To me, Ong Bak is the original movie, and the Protector is the sequel. I know it's not supposed to be like that, but to me, seeing that, I was like, because I remember my dad's friend was like, "You got to watch." I'm sorry, I got hype and banged onto my laptop. My dad's friend told us to watch Ong Bak, and this ugly, big-lipped Thai dude named by the name of Tony Jaa. I had never seen lips like that. That was a little black man, big ass lips. And when I tell you, I seen this man jump up and grab his ankles and come straight down on a nigga, just and put him through this. I forgot what he put him through. And he was doing these crazy kicks, like his feet, like his shoes were on fire. He jumped out, did a corkscrew, kicked the nigga dead in his chest. And I was just sitting there like, bruh, he was doing straight Muay Thai. He's just, yeah, using straight elbows, knees, using every part of his limbs, like, was amazing. And I said, oh my gosh, we've seen it. So Ong Bak was already like, this man's crazy. And then the Protector came out. And like I said, that's where the edge comes in because I was like, this is crazy. And the people he was fighting in the movie was crazy too. Like the one dude, he's like, Johnny Die! That nigga was doing some crazy ass kicks. And then he had the one scene, he was fighting, and he was all in one shot. He was just like beating the nigga down. He would go up the steps, beating them, throwing them off of stuff. And that scene lasted like a hot 3 minutes, like hot 3-4 minutes. It's just him walking around, beating people up, and just going. It was just crazy. I'm just sitting like, it was just insane. Like stuff like that. I love it, man. I love it. And yeah, like I was peak. I think I saw that when I was in high school. I want to say my sophomore year, and I remember being like, "This is insane." And my number one martial arts movie of all time. This is It's a movie that a lot of people don't talk about. They just don't know it. They just flat out don't know it. They know Jackie Chan, but they don't know about this one. Some people do, some people don't. Legend of the Drunken Master. Now, this was a sequel. I didn't know this was a sequel when I first seen the movie. Because I watched this movie for years, and didn't know it was a sequel. I just watched the original like maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I remember watching it. I remember hearing about it because for years I didn't know it was a sequel, and then I found out it was a sequel. So I said, let me go back and watch the first one. Couldn't find nothing, then I seen it on Tubi. I said, let me go ahead and watch it on Tubi. And the movie was funny. Like I said, it came out in the 70s, but it was funny. And this movie, Legend of Drunken Master, was one of the movies, like I said, I watched it and I remember being like, wow. Because the storyline is your typical martial arts storyline, especially for Jackie Chan. They took the Chinese artifacts. All his movies is that. Let's be real. All his movies, they took somebody or they took the Chinese artifacts. Every single one of his movies. And with this one, they took the Chinese artifacts and I think they took somebody too. No, they didn't. They didn't. My fault. No, they took the Chinese artifacts. And this movie had a perfect blend of funny as hell and also a I can't wait for him to whoop the bad guy in this movie. And it's him just seeing it like it's one of the things like, oh, we didn't see him at his full potential. Like the whole movie, they kept teasing him being drunk. Like, oh, if he get drunk, he can't be stopped. And then when he got there at the end, boy, and that's why I'm like, ah. So I think this was the hardest to come up with because I couldn't use the same actor twice. Because like I said, the Protector and Ong Bak would have been fighting in there as well. Enter the Dragon had to be in there. Legend of Drunken Master had to be in there. Um, I have for Jet Li, like I got the one that was supposed to be the one was in there for sure. And then even though it's a terrible movie, I like Romeo Must Die. I mess with it. I mess with it. I didn't like Kiss of the Dragon. Like some people talk about that. I didn't like Kiss of the Dragon. That's a weird movie. But like Raid 2 would have been in there. Like I said, Raid 2 is in the honorable mentions. It Man, like I said, I don't know which one It Man it was. A couple of movies I would have threw in there. But yeah, these are my peak movies. I definitely recommend checking these out if you haven't seen them. And yeah, that's it for the honorable mentions and the Mount Rushmores for this episode. So yeah, get on out of here.